We'll look into the next topic, that is cross correlation functions for the random processes or CCF. In the previous session, we have learned about the autocorrelation functions for the sample processes, that is the random processes. Now we are going to focus on the cross correlation functions for the RP or random processes. Let us assume that we are having two random processes which are functions of time, that is x and y. Let them be the two random processes, and this time we are going to jointly consider them to be stationary in the wide sense here. Taking this as an assumption, we could define the cross correlation function of CCF is the expected value of the product of one random variable from another, that is one random process, with a time shifted version of random variable which is taken from the second random process. Meaning the cross correlation function is denoted by Rxy of tau is equal to expected value of product of two, that is random variables. First one is x of t, this is original or unshifted, that is version of the random variable, and second random variable, that is y of t plus tau, this is time shifted random variable which is obtained from the second process. So x of t belongs to the first process and it is a random variable belonging to the first process, and second y of t plus tau belongs to the, that is the random variable which belongs to the second random process here. So the product of these two and the expected value is resultant in the cross correlation function Rxy of tau as denoted in equation number 1. So we could change the order of the, that is the random variables and the product here accordingly. Ryx of tau is equal to expected value of product of y of t. In this time we are shifting the, that is time shifting is being performed on the random variable x of the random process 1, and random process that is the random variable of the random process 2 y is kept unshifted in time series. So therefore we are getting two cross correlation functions Rxy of tau and Ryx of tau here, so 1 and equation 2 respectively. So in both these equations, t represents the absolute time location lowercase t, and tau represents the arbitrary time difference, also called as the time lag between the sampling inputs and the output processes here. And major feature of the cross correlation function is, we could note here in the equation 1 and 2, you can very clearly note that it is very similar to the convolution operation. One is shifted and another one is time shifted version, then the convolution is being performed here. So now if Rxy of t comma tau is resulting in 0, that is cross correlation function is 0 for all the values of t and the tau, then the processes x and y, involved processes x and y, that is process 1 and process 2, are orthogonal to each other. Let us look into the properties of the cross correlation functions. So CCF is not an even function and it doesn't possess unique symmetry property here. So this is evident from the mathematical equation. We are able to see here Rxy of minus tau is equal to Ryx of tau. So therefore you should note the subscript here. First x variable is coming and then y is coming. In the right hand side you are having Ry is first and then x is second here. So therefore this is not an even function and it is not symmetric. It is not satisfying the symmetric property here. This is the first property of the CCF or cross correlation function. Second property is, if y of t is periodic with period equal to t, then Rxy of tau plus t is equal to Rxy of tau. That means even if you apply the same method for the second random variable or the process here, then Ryx of t plus tau is equal to Ryx of tau here. So we can note from both these two above mathematical expressions that CCF or cross correlation function is periodic in nature. The values repeat after every period equal to t here. So therefore CCF is periodic in nature. Now third property is, for two statistically independent random processes, we can come to the conclusion that Rxy of tau is exactly equal to Ryx of tau here. So therefore the order of finding the cross correlation doesn't affect here which variable or the random process is being time shifted and which one is retained in the original time series form here. So therefore, for statistically independent random processes, their cross correlation functions of the two random processes x and y remains the same irrespective of the which particular random variable of a random process is time shifted. Fourth property, there are two limitations or upper bound on the cross correlation function and its performance here. So let us look into the first one here. Consider the following equation. Expectation of square of x of t plus or minus ky of t plus tau, then this is greater than or equal to 0. So this is non-negative value here, where k is an arbitrary constant which is having a real value. Now expand this that is value of the expression inside this particular expectation operator. So therefore we can look into this as a square, a plus b, a plus or minus b whole square here. Therefore we'll expand the square in the expectation operator. So e is outside, then a square is nothing but x square of t plus or minus 2 into k, that is next x of t into y of t plus tau, that is time shifted is second random process or second random variable y is there, plus this is b square, so k square y square of t plus tau, so greater than or equal to 0. Next here within the parenthesis or the square bracket we can go for, that is multiplying the expectation operator throughout here, e of x square of t and plus or minus 2 into k of e of x of t into y of t plus tau, so product is taken here in the second term, plus k square into e of y square of t plus tau is greater than or equal to 0. Now we will, once e is multiplied inside with each and every term here in the above expression, we can perform the expectations. So once you apply the expectation operator here on the x square of t, the first term e of x square of t represents the, that is the correlation of x at time instant t is equal to 0. Then plus or minus 2 into k, that is constant. Then e of x of t, y of t plus tau represents the cross correlation function between x and y random processes at a tau with the time lag or time difference is equal to tau, plus k square. Then this remaining term is equal to nothing but equal to, that is k square of ry of 0, that is greater than or equal to 0 here. So therefore this is nothing but equal to the autocorrelation or correlation function of y alone here, random processing. Now in equation 3 we can also go for, if k is assuming a value of 1, then this equation becomes rx of 0 plus or minus 2 into k is there, so this k value is substituted as 1 here, and rxy of tau, then plus ry of k square will become equal to, that is k square will become equal to 1 here. So therefore this is going to be equal to 1 is substituted in place of every occurrence of these, that is the k here. So therefore the equation is manipulated as below. Now you shift the all the terms except rxy of tau on the other side and you will get an equation number 4, that is mod of rxy of tau is less than or equal to average of, that is the correlation functions of x at 0 plus, that is the correlation function of second random process y at 0 here. Let us take the average of this. So therefore the average value is always greater than or equal to the mod of rxy of tau. So this is one limitation here. The cross correlation function with the time lag of tau between x and y random processes can never exceed this limit of average of 2, that is correlation functions of x and y here. So this is one limitation or bound on the cross correlation function dictated by equation number 4. Similarly we can also change the order of x and y. Now y will be not shifted and x will be time shifted here. Even in this case also we observe the same equation what is written in equation number 4, the same condition applies or bound is also applied to the equation number 5 also. So cross correlation function is not affected or its limit is not affected by change of the order of time shift here. Let us look into the second bound or limitation of the cross correlation function. For a positive real constant k, equation number 3, this particular equation above which you are seeing in the presentation here is quadratic in nature. So how it is quadratic in nature? So this is k square is a square, that is ax square, then plus bx plus c form here. So therefore this is quadratic. and it can be written or rearranged as equal to k square ry of 0 plus 2k rxy of tau plus rx of 0 is greater than or equal to 0. So I have very clearly written that since ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, this is the form of the quadratic equation. So equation number 3 assumes the quadratic form, and this quadratic equation will be non-negative if it doesn't have real roots. So this condition of having that is real roots should not be there for this particular quadratic equation. So this condition is going to be satisfied here by ensuring the discriminant value. So the discriminant value has to satisfy the following condition here: 4 into r, that is r square of xy of tau minus 4 rx of 0 ry at 0 is less than or equal to 0. This discriminant is nothing but equal to representation of a quadratic equation is given by b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. So we use this fundamental here and substitution for the appropriate correlation functions here. Ultimately we are going to get this equation here: 4 into r square xy of tau is less than or equal to 4 into product of rx of 0 and ry of 0. The nature of discriminant reveals whether the roots of the quadratic equations are going to be real, repeated, or complex in nature. So therefore the above equation can be manipulated by cancelling 4 on both the sides here, and we obtain r square xy of tau is less than or equal to product of rx of 0 with ry of 0. Take the mod of this, and this will be equal to the correlation function, the mod of the cross correlation function between x and y random processes with the time lag tau is nothing but less than or equal to square root of product of rx of 0 with ry of 0. So this is the second limitation here on the cross correlation function given by equation 6. Similarly, even you can go for changing or shifting the time for the other random variable or the process x this time, and even the same limitation as of the equation number 6 is also observed in the equation number 7. So therefore CCF has got a limitation that the cross correlation function value cannot exceed this square root of product of two correlation functions observed at time t is equal to 0 here. This means that the geometric mean is stronger bound than the arithmetic mean. To interpret this is how we are having the equation number 8 here, that is square root of product of rx of 0 with ry of 0 is less than or equal to the average of rx of 0 with ry of 0 here. So this is equation number 8 very clearly puts the second limitation on the cross correlation function. The last topic here we are having under this or associated with this is covariance. So this is cross covariance. Let us look into first covariance here. A covariance is an average value of the product of the deviations of two variates, random variates from the respective means. So the number that measures the common variation of the random variables x and y is nothing but covariance. Now it is not simple covariance here. Now we are also going to take a step further here. This is cross covariance function. So therefore CCF or cross covariance function between the random processes x and y is given by Cxy of tau. So C stands for cross covariance is equal to expectation of mean subtracted random variables or processes x of t minus mu x, y of t plus tau minus mu y. So here also you can observe that the first random process or variable associated with the random process 1 here is x, and it is not time shifted but subtracted from mean. Y is time shifted, t plus tau is there, so it is also subtracted from the mean value. The product of these two and their expectation of mean value is nothing but equal to cross covariance here, right? So it is very important to observe this common variation of the two random variables or processes x and y is representing the covariance, and if x and y are same, so this is only covariance. If x and y are totally two different random processes and two different random variables belonging to two different random processes, then cross covariance is going to come into picture here. So Cxy of tau is equal to Rxy of tau minus product of mean value of x and mean value of y. Similarly, changes order of y and x here, this is equal to expectation of y of t minus mu y, x of t plus tau minus mu x. So this time we are also getting the, that is cross covariance, Cyx of tau is equal to Ryx of tau minus product of these two means of y and x respectively in equation number 10. So both are representing, equation 9 and 10 represents the cross covariance of two random processes x and y, taken together here, and the values are same as per the mathematical expressions. Now if Cxy of tau is equal to 0, that is the covariance is going to be 0 for either equation 9 or 10, then the random processes involved x and y are not correlated with each other. They are totally uncorrelated. That is, there is no similarity between the random processes x and y or their corresponding random variables.